The ideal for the Beaver Castle Cricket Trust was really two things. One was to get children up and active into sport. Effectively, it's too easy for children, and I've got my own, too easy for children to be at home, to play on laptops, on their iPhones, etc, etc. We want children not to lose sight of the fact of what is out in the big wide world for them. And the second thing, we work in some beautiful surroundings out here in the Vale, but a lot of the children that live out here obviously benefit from it, but we have a huge amount of children that we now work with from inner city Leicester, Nottingham, Grantham, Melton, that don't ever get out into the countryside. And it was twofold for us. One was to really try and encourage the children to get up and active and busy and enjoy sport, and secondly was to get out here and understand what this beautiful English countryside has to offer, and get them to aspire to be the best people that they can be and to make the most of what they have here. My own personal view is that sometimes at the age of 14, 15, 16 years old, children are pretty set in their ways at that stage, and if you haven't got sport and the desire to learn and to be inquisitive by that stage, I often think that's probably a little bit too late. We run 4 specific projects. One is the Beaver Bees, which is a project that we set up to work with clubs effectively that don't have junior cricket sections. Our ideal is that we would go to a club, find a club that has no juniors but has a desire to have them. We will then work with their current players or members or some local families to help train them to become our volunteer coaches. The Beaver Castle Cricket Trust do all the administration. We try and make it as simple for them to volunteer and give their time as possible, and to allow them to enjoy the time that they're giving. Melton Mowbray is probably one of our shining examples of our bees. We went there 5 years ago. They wanted to have junior cricket but just didn't have the skill base to be able to manage it. Now they have the Bees, which is running all the cricket from 6 to 11s, which we regularly have 40 to 50 children. They're now running their own under 11s, under 13s, and next year they're running under 15s as well. These kids and this cricket club that had no junior section is absolutely flying now. And it's a real testimony to the club themselves, but it was really what we wanted to try and achieve with the Bees. Teach Cricket is a project we've introduced to help reintroduce cricket into primary schools. The aim of the project is to run a 3-week programme at each of the primary schools that we work with that are clustered around where our Beaver Bees venues are. So effectively we will go in to the schools as an after-school club or as part of the school curriculum, so it's there for the boys and the girls. Some children that will have never played cricket before get the opportunity to just come and have a taster and a try, and hopefully they enjoy it. We can then signpost them off to our Beaver Bees sessions, which give them cricket throughout the rest of the summer. The Cricket and Countryside was one of our early projects. Effectively, the Cricket and Countryside Days allow us to run 20 days during the summer, where we invite primary schools to bring up to 100 children on the day. We try and mix the children up, which is great because we have very different schools from different backgrounds, so it's great to really mix them up. But the idea of the day is really to get them up and active into cricket, and also the countryside education element is hugely important to us. We utilise our volunteers to do the cricket practices in the morning. Groups will learn to have a bat, they'll learn to have a bowl, they'll learn to do fielding games. We always finish off with games of cricket in the morning so that the kids have got a bit of competition as well. Hopefully it's a nice sunny day. We have picnic out on the grass at Nipton, which is fabulous. And then in the afternoon, we bring in the countryside element, the education side. The gamekeeper comes in and talks about how he manages the estate as far as the gamekeeping side. The fisherman comes in and does some demonstrations on how to fish, what to fish, and talks about sustainability and effectively what's out there in the waters of Nipton. The ladies bring the gun dogs down and they teach them and show them demonstrations as to how the gun dogs work. We also have birds of prey demonstrations, and the children get to handle some of these animals, which, for most of them, they've never seen them, let alone had the chance to hold them. And then to top the day off, we will often have the opportunity of the beaver hunt hounds coming down to visit us, which for the children is just a sight to behold. The kids absolutely love it. They're great days out, they're really full of education, and the kids go home having had a wonderful day out. The feedback we have from the teachers every year is that it's one of the best days they ever go on. One of the things that we're very proud of what we do is we run a programme for special needs children. We work with special needs schools. We run a programme where we go into school for 5 weeks during the winter, and we have an hour doing quick cricket with the more capable ones, and we do an hour's worth of table cricket, which is a great fun game, played on a table tennis table for children really designed that are in wheelchairs effectively, that are not capable of running around like others. You know, we have varying degrees of abilities, ranging from some children that really find it very hard to comprehend sport at all, to some that are quite capable but just have physical disabilities. And following on from that programme, to keep the continuity, each of those schools has the opportunity to come out to Beaver Castle every year, where they'll see the birds of prey fly, they'll have a tour around the gardens, they might see the gun dogs working, have a chance to stroke gun dogs. You know, it's a very special programme and something I really enjoy doing, and I think these children hugely benefit from it.
I'm really passionate about Beaver Cricket Trust. It's something that is very dear to my heart. I think it's amazing that we've been going now, or I've been patron since 2008, and I think some 2,500 children from the surrounding cities each year. Also a huge amount of underprivileged children and children with difficulties come into our countryside, and we teach them cricket. We take them down to our kennels and show them our hounds, and the keepers take them out round the estate. Yeah, it's something that I really hold very fondly in my heart.